Hi, my name is Ethan Lewis, and today I'll be going with video reaction number 6, which is the new age of monopolies. At the beginning of this TED Talk, Speaker Margaret Vestager takes us back to 1957, when 6 representatives of the European countries came to Rome to sign the treaty to create the European Union. Europe was destroyed at the time from World War that had taken place there. The citizens of Europe suffered greatly and said that they were unprecedented. The 6 men that were representative of the European countries worked to create a peaceful, democratic Europe. They wanted the country to work for its people. And the building blocks for this peaceful, democratic Europe was the common European market. Even back then, when markets were left to themselves, they often slipped away from being and slipped into private property to big businesses and the cartels. This always meant that needs for big businesses, but never to the customers. When the push for a peaceful democracy occurred in 1957, the European Union had rules to defend fair competition. Competition was often related to the quality of business products, the prices that they could offer, the services, and the innovation a business could produce. The speaker continued her talk by asking the audience, why is there rules for competition amongst businesses? Why not just let them compete? Wouldn't this be more beneficial to customers since the competition themselves provide more quality at lower prices and more innovation? Well, Vestager elaborates and states that sometimes competition for business can be inconvenient because the race will never end. The speaker emphasizes when greed and fear are linked together, the power they have is dangerous. Competition rules can do a similar thing in the market. It can make sure that greed and fear doesn't overcome fairness. The rules prevent companies from misusing their power to undermine competition. Although those companies tend to undermine fair competition, governments can do it also. They do this when handing out subsidies to selected individuals. The subsidies stop companies from competing on unequal terms. Having competition rules helps the markets work fairly. The competition gives consumers the power to demand a fair deal. It allows companies to realize if their services are poor or unbeneficial to customers, they will simply go to another company to get the correct services or something that is beneficial to them. In a recent survey, more than 2/3 of Europeans felt the lack of competition. They felt the price of utilities were too high, the price for their medicines were too high, and they found that the other aspects in the market weren't treating them fairly. The lack of the market can oftentimes rub off on society. Individuals must trust and follow the same set of rules they make markets for the markets and society to operate fairly. Without trust, everything becomes harder. The more our society grows, the harder it is for others to trust one another and other businesses. The speaker continues her talk by introducing technology and how it is used in the market. Although technology can build trust between customers by leaving reviews, it provides many challenges. It leads us to trust algorithms and computers and to rely on these. Less than 1/4 of Europeans trust online businesses to their personal information. The speaker wraps up her TED Talk with competition rules can assure customers that they will be treated fairly. She ends it with competition and trust is the key to getting the best out of our society. I thought this was a very interesting TED Talk that Margaret spoke on. Learning about the markets and how these competition rules are put in place, it allows us to understand what goes on behind the scenes. Some standouts I had for this TED Talk was in the presentation, the speaker introduces how the world's car manufacturer has dependent on these few supplies that are needed. She continues stating that it's easily for suppliers to come together and form a fixed price, even though it would increase the final price of a car significantly. The European Commission has already dealt with 7 different car part cartels, and the Department of Justice is looking into the market for our car parts as well. This is being known as the biggest criminal investigation ever pursued. But without competition rules, there would be no investigation. This is very eye-opening and very significant to our market because there is certain industries and aspects within markets that do have an advantage or have a limitation on parts that only a certain amount of companies or certain suppliers produce. So having a fixed price can really be detrimental to the market and customers because regardless what the price is, it's a need and people are going to be forced to pay that price. So her bringing this up, I thought was really interesting because without these competition rules, like she said, you wouldn't be able to do this. So obviously competition isn't something people would think of as having all these rules because obviously businesses and individuals have to compete to succeed over one another. But with these rules, it could really hurt the economy and others forced to have to pay a price. Another standout to me that occurred was when the speaker said greed and fear, when they are linked to power, you have a dangerous mix. I thought that this was a very eye-opening statement, and I thought it was very powerful as well. Because once you have greed and fear, and they are linked to power, people will take advantage of others and what they may fear or what they are forced to pay or do. And like she said, it could be a dangerous mix. And then lastly, another standout I had was without trust, everything becomes harder. And I thought this was very important that she stated this because it's true. Customers, when they don't trust businesses or even trust each other, it can be hard. And like she says, not only does this affect the market, but it also affects society. And although the market is huge, society is even bigger. So having people that can't trust each other or trust the new advances such as technology can be very hard for everyone. So that's all I have for video reaction number 6. So, thanks.